Hey guys, Lizardlea here for more Tiny Stockings puppy with hat, I guess? I don't know what else to call it. So we're gonna focus on it. Gonna focus on it. And it's this little guy right here. What? Okay, it was focused for like half a second. No? Maybe? This one. Alright, so yeah, I have 3 more. I might finish 2 today. Like, we'll see. I believe.
Alrighty, we're back to just me because David is currently asleep. It is 6:20 in the morning, and I'm not gonna wake him up just to do this. So I am back to the weird questions I was on. 96, school or no school? Do you learn more in school or just being amongst people? Okay, so personally, I'd prefer no school. I do love learning, but like the way the American education system is, the way we test people, it's ridiculous. Like someone like me, I excel. I test very well, but I've had plenty of friends who I thought understood a subject better than me, and they wouldn't do well on a test simply because they didn't test well. And it just that saying, you can't judge how smart a fish is by how well it can climb a tree. I feel like that applies. It's so stupid that we have this expectation that you have to pass your SATs and all these other things or you won't succeed. Like no. But I also just I wish school would focus more on things that people are interested in, and it would teach us more like the things we freaking need to understand to succeed in life. So I know plenty of other people in American schools got to take home ec classes. I never had one available to me. I didn't have one available in any of the schools on base, and I didn't have any in Vegas. And when I was in Colorado, I was in preschool, kindergarten, so that isn't gonna matter. I could take that. I long since would have forgotten it. So, having a home ec class, like basic cooking skills, basic sewing skills, just basics. That would have gone so far for a lot of people that I know. Like cooking definitely would have helped me. Sewing, I can stitch stuff together, obviously. May not look pretty, but it does the job, so I don't really care. um, a tax class, learning how to, file taxes. Um, buying a mortgage, buying a house, like all of these things. I had a class, it was career practicum, where we had to write resumes, which, it was nice, it was helpful. But there are a lot of people I've met who didn't have that opportunity. And it's like the first time you go and write a resume, it's probably not going to be good. I got a lot of resumes when I was at Michael's and at Ross because I was a manager. And there were so many where people had multiple pages where they had multiple errors, like spelling errors, grammatical errors, etc., etc. And it was so hard not to just be like, no, I'm not accepting this. Because I'd had it ingrained in me in high school and college, like one page. If it goes past one page, most places will rip the second page off and throw it away, and they'll read your first one. And if the important information isn't on there, you're not going to get the job. Or there are also people who, if you had two, they would just throw your resume out. Or, like they'd put it in the immediate no pile. Because I guess some places they're required to keep your resume for a certain period of time. But that doesn't mean they have to give you a chance, So I had that ingrained in me pretty early on. That, like, there are just things you do not do on your resume. But there are so many people that didn't have that. They didn't take a class on that, so they don't know these rules. Because, I've Googled resume before, and there are some people who have very long resumes because there are some places who will accept that. But it's just, it drives me crazy. It's so unfair. And then, honestly, taking classes on things that, you find enjoyment in. Like, so I loved art. Obviously, I love art. I didn't get to take an art class until my senior year of high school. That was the first time I really got to take an art class. And the teacher was a horrible person. She was terrible. I hated her. I could not stand that woman. But if I had been able to take an art class each semester, or even just one semester each year, I would have been so much happier. I went so high. I took calculus my senior year of high school, and I got AP credit, so I didn't have to take it in college. I don't use any of that, and I'm in accounting. I'm using a math degree, and I didn't go that high up in math. I didn't need to go that high up in math to do what I'm doing. Like, okay, that's great. I'm really good at math. Really? The people that want to take it, heck yeah. Or the people that want to go into like a mathematics career that should take it, like, okay, even if all you're going to teach is algebra, it'd be a good idea to take this, because maybe you'll decide, in 5 years, you want to bump up and you want to do pre-calc. You want to teach calculus. You want to teach these higher levels of mathematics. I don't know, but it's just, I took so many science classes, and I liked science, don't get me wrong, but I've never used chemistry a day in my life. Or at least not the chemistry I was learning. Like there's so much. It's so ridiculous. There's so many more important things we should be teaching people. Especially young people. And especially because there are parents that exist that are like, oh, you're 18, I'm kicking you out. Like, if they don't know how to save money, if they don't know how to open up a banking account, if they don't know how to read a lease so that they know they're not ruining their lives, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. It's so unfair. So yeah, I support school, but I really wish that we cared more. I wish we took the time to teach people more important things, honestly. Okay, end rant. 97, life or death? Life. Duh. This could go anywhere, but it'll be deep no matter the direction. Really? Really? Will it? Because I just answered with one of the words from the question. So there's some comics I see on Facebook every once in a while of Death, who's a skeleton, and he has, Cerberus, his 3-headed dog, and it's a little comic, and they look super cute. And Serby has, one of his heads has 2 brown eyes. His middle head has 1 brown eye and 1 blue eye, and then his other head has 2 blue eyes. So like it transitions. It's super cute. And I want to say it's either the middle one or the blue-eyed one always kind of looks a little derpy. He has his tongue out and he looks kind of silly, and he's so cute. But my favorite was Gaia. Wait, is it Gaia that goes to Death, or is it Death that goes to Gaia? One of the two. I want to say it's... Oh! Okay, it was the second or third part of a comic. Death is looking for Cerberus. He can't find him. I guess Serby was like trying to bring flowers, into the underworld, and they couldn't survive down there. And Death basically was just like, Serby, give it up. It's not going to work. And so Cerberus was really upset, and he ran off. And then Death started looking for him. And he came out of the underworld, and he finds Gaia, and he's like, Gaia, do you know where Serby is? And she's like, oh yeah, he's right over there with my granddaughter, Persephone. And, it pans over to Persephone. And she's like, it's okay, Serby, we can fix this. And she helps the flowers grow again. And you can tell Death has the biggest crush on her. He starts blushing. It is adorable. I read a continuation of that yesterday, the day before. And Death is talking to the mirror. It's so cute. And he's just like, hey, Persephone, would you go on a date with me? Excuse me. And then he walks over to somebody else, and he's shaking, he's holding flowers, and you see the back of their head, and it's Persephone's hair. It goes from like yellow to pink. It's super pretty. It's a really nice gradient. And he's just like, hey, Persephone, would you go on a date with me? Like, I mean, he is shaking, and it looks like he's starting to melt, like that's how nervous he is. And then Persephone says, woof. And then it pans, and you see that Serby is wearing a wig of Persephone. And Death is just like, I could never do this. And it's so precious. And then, let's see what's the other one. Oh God, is it Mount Olympus? Is that what it's called? It's a retelling of Greek mythology, and it specifically focuses on Hades and Persephone. I really like it. All of the gods have their own colors. So Hades is blue, I believe. Persephone is pink. Artemis is purple. Apollo is purple. Let's see. Hera is yellow? Is she yellow? Something like, I don't remember. It's been a little while, but it's really good. It does have some adult themes, but I mean, Greek mythology has some adult themes if you know anything about Zeus. But this gets, I'd say that comic probably gets a little triggering for some people. That's how realistic it gets. But it's really good. Persephone, she's like a new god, or at least a young one, I guess, and she moves in with Artemis, so they're roommates, and Artemis is my favorite god, so I'm always excited to see more of her. Apollo is a douche canoe in this, so be aware of that. But yeah, it's just, Persephone and Hades coming together, and it's so precious. Another good one is, I don't know the artist's name. I watch all of her stuff on like Facebook and stuff. She draws Death, and he's a skeleton. He carries around his scythe. He has the robe and everything, and basically she's just trying to draw attention to all the ways that we're destroying animals' lives. I mean, she's done ones on elephants, bunnies, foxes. Like, there's so many animals that she does comics on, and they're all like, they all make me cry. Like, it's so powerful. But my favorite one is probably, I want to say, a fox is drowning in a fountain, and so Death is leaning over, and he starts reaching out, and he's like, I'm really sorry I couldn't save you. And then somebody is able to grab the fox and pull him out, and he doesn't drown. And then Life comes over, and she's like, ha ha ha, Death, I've thwarted you again. And Death is just like, why do you think I'd be upset about that? Like, this makes me happy. Which, of course, made me sob, because I'm just like, that's wonderful. Oh, is that the right comic, or is that someone else? I want to say this is the same artist, but I could be wrong. So if you find her, you'll have to see. But it's just, death is, what does it say? I don't think it's like quoting anybody. I think it's just saying in general, like it's you know, life and death go hand in hand and they love one another. Death sends, everything eventually, or excuse me, life sends everything eventually to death, and death keeps them forever. I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about it, because it's like, I do believe in an afterlife, so, I like it. But it's just, oh, that artist, she did one on lions, ones that were kept in the circus, and he was like, I'm the king of the jungle. What is this? Just, oh, they're so powerful. And there's one on a baby duck. Oh God, I'm gonna start crying. So I'm gonna move on. 98. Sinful or righteous? Is it better to be admired as a saint or enjoy all the sinful delights of the devils? I mean, I think you can be both, because there are so many things that are considered sins that it's just like, I don't want to live the life of a saint. That sounds incredibly dull and boring and just not enjoyable in the least. But I also don't want to just, be sinful, because that, I mean, taking to the extreme, like, you're going to be breaking laws, and no, that's horrific. So I don't want either of those personally. And I would not choose between the two of them, because that just sounds absolutely miserable. Like, ugh. If I can choose the level that I'm at, I think ultimately I would probably pick sinful, and I would just pick a little sinful. 99. Badly wounded or dead? I mean, it says badly wounded, not deadly wounded. So, badly wounded, I'm still alive, right? Although I will say, like, I don't want to be a vegetable. If I have to be hooked up to a machine to survive, and like I'm literally brain dead, I don't want that. That's not a life to me. Not interested. Let's see, what does this say? Is it better to suffer or to end life when it isn't possible to live how you want? Ah, okay. So like if I have my arms blown off, would I rather not have arms, or would I rather be dead? I think I'd rather not have arms, especially in this day and age. There's so many videos of people using mechanical arms. I'm like, okay, yeah, not ideal, obviously, but they're still surviving. They're still getting by. And I think, honestly, I think it's kind of offensive to say you'd pick death over being in someone else's shoes like that. Because, yeah, okay, I wouldn't be able to cross-stitch anymore, and that would be really upsetting. But I can still read, I can still watch TV, I can still enjoy the taste of food. There are so many other pleasures in life that you can still enjoy, even if you are unable to do other ones. I don't know. I mean, I will say I don't handle pain well, so if I could just be knocked out as soon as it happens, or right beforehand, that'd be better. But I'd rather not that happen to me, not gonna lie. I am quite content with how I am right now. I would like to stay that way, please. I have asthma, so I already have enough health issues to deal with. 100. Forgotten or remembered for all the wrong reasons? By remembered for all the wrong reasons, I'm assuming that's going to be like bad things. And I'd rather be forgotten. Like, I don't want to be remembered because people like thought I was the next Hitler or something, because they confused me with someone else who looked almost exactly like me. Like my doppelganger. I'd rather just be forgotten. Like, yeah, okay, it sucks, that's sad to be forgotten, but being remembered for the wrong things. Like, heck, even being remembered for the wrong things that are good things. You know, if people think I'm the next Einstein, like, if they think I cured cancer and I didn't, that's not fair. I want people to remember the correct person. Like, man, especially learning about all of the white people that took their inventions from black people. Like, God, you know, like the light bulb, peanut butter, all these things, from what I've read, were actually, you know, figured out, founded by black people. But white people are known for it. And that makes me angry. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then, like, NASA stuff. There's so many things that women figured out, but men are known for it because, you know, back in the day, a woman, no way. I mean, heck, even now, that stuff still applies. White people, I guarantee you, are still taking credit for things that a non-white person found. So it just, no, I would not want to be remembered for good or bad that someone else did. I want them to be remembered for what they did. And if I don't do anything noteworthy, so be it. I mean, ultimately, I think the people that will remember me would be like family. Family and friends. And I've never really had the desire to be famous, so if I don't become world renowned, I'm not gonna, you know, be upset in the afterlife. Okay, 101. Rich and bored, or employed and tired. I mean, dude, rich and bored, are you kidding me? Because that's the thing, like, I would never be bored if I was rich. I wouldn't. Because I know all the things life has to offer. I could buy all of these cross-stitch patterns and cross-stitch materials that I've always wanted. I could buy, you know, the expensive version of Hulu and Stars and all these other things, and I could watch whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Did I say that right? Whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. There we go. I could buy all of the audiobooks I've ever wanted. I could, if I was rich, I could hire someone to read it for me. All right? Like, I wouldn't be bored. And, you know, absolute worst comes up if I realize, like, I cannot be happy unless I'm working. I could get a job. I'm rich. Do you know how easy everything is for the rich? So easy. It's ridiculous. God, I saw a post the other day where it was like, you know, give $600 to a homeless person and it'll be gone within the next 24 hours. Give $600 to, you know, like a CEO, and within a few years they'll turn it into, you know, $1 million or whatever. And the next comment was like, you do realize the reason the homeless person won't have $600 tomorrow is because they had to spend it in order to survive, right? And it's like, that's the thing. When you are able to save your money, yeah, of course you can quadruple it really quickly because you don't have to spend it immediately. And it's just, it makes me so angry that people think homelessness is a choice. Like, okay, maybe there are a few people who are like, they decided they were going to gamble their life savings. They have a gambling addiction. It's, yeah, I kind of want to smack them over the head and tell them they're freaking idiots. But they don't deserve to be homeless. No one deserves to live like that. That's not a way to live. Especially, at least in the US, if you look at the architecture that we have for like park benches and stuff, we do everything possible to make it difficult for homeless people. Like the benches that we have, that they come out and every single person will have an armrest. That's because they don't want someone to fall asleep on the bench, specifically someone homeless. They want them to be uncomfortable. And it disgusts me how we view homelessness in this world. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because there's some people who are born into it. You know, there are children who are homeless. And you want to tell me that they can get themselves out of that? They're children. They don't know anything. They can't do anything. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm very passionate about that. Like, it makes me very angry that people are judgy on things that people just can't control. Okay. Oh, I guess that was the end of the questions. Okay. I don't know what questions I have and haven't done on here. Crap. Fun questions to ask. Is that one I've already done? 99 fun questions to ask. Spark engaging conversations. Let's see if it will load. It really doesn't want to load. I don't know. Oh, did it load? Did it load? Okay, 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents? Have I done this one? I literally don't know. I feel like I'm just doing the same questions over and over again anyways, so I guess we're just going to continue. 1 to 10, how strict were my parents? Okay, so I'm assuming 1 is, like, not strict at all, and 10 is super strict? 4? Like, they were strict, but they weren't super strict? I feel? Like, yeah? I mean, they didn't have to be really strict with me, because I'm me. I'm very laid back. I was very nerdy. I hung out with other nerds. So it's not like we ever did anything bad. We never did anything crazy. So they didn't have to worry about that. I followed the rules. I didn't really have a rebellious phase. So if they were like, hey, yeah, you know, don't be gone too long. Call us if anything comes up. I would. So, but I can't say a 1 because there were rules. If we broke them, we got in trouble. 2, who was your worst teacher and why? My worst teacher was Miss Wagner, my junior English AP Lit teacher. She was just so horrible. She had a nasty attitude. The main thing that sticks out for me was every quarter we had to keep a writing journal, basically, where every single thing that we read, we had to write down the date that we read it, and we had to, we just had to talk about what we read. And it was supposed to be like a minimum of 2 paragraphs or something like that. And I kept up with it. I did it on time. And everybody else, towards the end of the quarter, would be like, oh, what did we read and when? And so I was like, yeah, it's this. You know, like, this is everything. I didn't tell them the answers. I didn't say, you know, like, this is what we talked about. I was just like, you know, we read this stupid thing by this person on this date, so that they could go back and reread it so they could write their journal. One of my friends, she had totally forgotten about it. Or like, I don't even remember what it was, but I was just like, okay, you know, here's my journal. Do not write word for word what I have. Do not copy me. Like, I will freaking kill you. And she didn't, alright? So, like, mine were very long. Mine were usually a page. She turned in paragraphs, like a single paragraph for each one. She got an A, and I got a C. And I read some of hers afterwards, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, this is not A material. She just decided that she didn't like me. I complained about it to, like, the seniors who had her the year before for this, and they're like, oh no, she always grades harshest with the person she thinks is the smartest. And I was like, I don't care. Mine is better than hers. I deserve a better grade. She thinks I could do better than writing a page the day that I read this, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. She thinks I could do better than that when every single other person in this class is doing it at the last minute. Are you freaking kidding me? So, absolutely, worst teacher ever. To the point, I was supposed to have her for my... Oh, wait, I said AP Lit, didn't I? It was AP Language. AP Lit I took my senior year, and I took that online. I took that online when she was teaching her class. And she only taught one AP Lit class every year. And I had to go and talk to the principal about it. And I explained to him the situation, and he was just like, oh. Okay, yeah. You can take the online class. Because he was trying to tell me, like, if her class is available at the same time, you need to take her class. You shouldn't be taking the online class. And I straight up told him, I was like, that absolutely will not happen. I kept some of my stuff from the previous semester. I can show you why there's no way I will take her class again, because she clearly does not like me, and she treats me unfairly, and I don't deserve that. Like, I know I'm smart enough to be getting A's in this stupid class, and I'm just not going to do it. And you can call up my parents right now, both of them, either of them, I don't care, and they will support me. They are not going to let me get a C in a class I should be getting an A in, especially when I do my work on time and I pay attention and all of this. And he kind of stared at me. He pulled up my information. He saw that I was a straight A student and that she did give me a C. And the only reason I stayed with a 4.0 is because a C in an AP class, at least the way we calculated it with GPA, counted as a B. And I had A's in my other AP classes, so that bumped it up to an A. So overall, I still had a 4.0. But it would have been better had I had an A. So he was like, oh, okay, yeah, you can stay with your online class. And I was like, yes, I can. I took my education very seriously, you guys. Super nerd over here.
And that is the end of More Tiny Stockings Puppy with Hat. I got 4 hours and 12 minutes of footage. So some of these are turning out to be my longer ones.
Puppy with hat.
Yeah. I don't know. What else would you call that?
Hat puppy.
Hat puppy? He's not even wearing it. He has on a bow.
Welcome.
You're weird. Let's see. It's 2 o'clock. I don't think I want to cross stitch anymore. I am listening to Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, so I'm back to him again. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's breaths and colors, and it's crazy. I don't know how Brandon Sanderson comes up with all of these different worlds and all these ideas. I don't know if like they come to him in a dream, or he is just literally that creative on his own. I can't do that. So, love you. I don't know. Maybe I'll make some more ornaments. I don't know. We'll see. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.